Hey folks, it's Brent with the Downing Group. This week we are going to give you a Columbia metro area market update. So welcome back to the channel. Thought it would be a good time to give you a market update. Haven't done one in a while for the basically our MLS area, which goes mainly from like Camden over to Newberry, down to Batesburg, Leesville, over to like Gaston, Swansea, and over in that area. Includes like Murray, Chapin, Lexington, Irmo, Blythewood, all those towns. So, two words: still hot, very hot. Our market is one of the best in the country. We are still one of the leading states in terms of migration from other states. We see a lot of people from New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, a few from California moving in. They're sick of the weather, the politics, the taxes and so forth. So not to mention that our cost of living and housing prices are way better here than in most of those places. So let's dig into the actual statistics and let me give you a flavor for what I'm seeing. So in terms of new listings, year to date, we're up 8% versus last year. Now, remember last year, at this time, we were early in a pandemic. Things kind of did shut down for a minute, March through May. And, there was still some business being conducted, but a lot of people were afraid to even have people coming through their house at that time. So new listings are up, closed sales are up 19%. So, even last year was a record year, and now this year is still continuing to beat that. So, days on market are down to 32 days on market on average. Now, that includes the multi-million-dollar properties that might take, 60, 90 a year, to sell versus some of the stuff it takes an hour or two to go on pended status. Median sales price. That means it's not the average sales price. It's the price that there are as many properties above that property in price as there are below that property in price. So, if you don't know what median is, Google it. It is different than the mean, which is the average. But both of those numbers are about 16% up versus last year. So think about it. It's more than, property is appreciating at more than 1% a month right now. Will that continue? I'll talk about that in a minute. And percent of list price received. This May versus last May, it's over, this May it was 100.5%. So in other words, people are getting more than ask price for their homes. Inventory of homes for sale. This is really interesting. Last May there were 2,272 homes listed as active for sale in the market. This year, 995. So we are still continue to be at 0.7 months inventory. In other words, if there are 1,000 buyers out there looking for a house at any given time, there's only 700 homes for sale for those buyers to pick through. So it's definitely a seller's market, continues to be a seller's market. How long will this last? Last year at this time, we were at 2 months supply. And probably the year before that, it was 3 or 3.5. It's been steadily a seller's market here in Columbia for the last at least 2 or 3 years, probably longer. And so how long will it continue? I think it's going to continue for at least another year or two here in Columbia. You may see things on YouTube or the national news like, housing is slowing down and so forth. But just remember, real estate is location specific. So what's going on in New York City or California or somewhere like that does not have a lot of bearing on what's going on in Columbia, South Carolina. In fact, those are negative migration states, and we are a positive migration state. More people are moving to our state than moving out by a long shot. So just remember that as you see these national news, this clickbait on YouTube and so forth. remember that our market is hot and probably will continue to be so for quite some time, meaning prices, I believe, will continue to increase and values of homes and days on market will be less and so forth. So months of supply is going to take a long time for us to get to a balanced market, which most economists think is 6 months. So there you have it. That's our latest. If you are a seller, good news for you. You can cash out pretty well right now. I will the next year see 16% value increases or price increases? I don't know. I mean, that doesn't seem sustainable forever, but I think it will continue to go up. So if you have any questions about any of that or need anything real estate related, please give us a call on my personal cell listed below or DM us on our Facebook page, and have a great week.